Hi everyone, thanks for joining me. You're watching In Deep on the Delta. This is the weekly Delta fishing report for the week of June 26, and I want to start off by giving a shout out to the San Joaquin Bassmasters Fishing Group, and they're having an online raffle. They're raffling off some really nice swim baits. I know Caesar from Toxic Baits has donated a bait. They've got a G-Rat bait, and I think they got a BBZ1. I have all the information up there that you guys can check this out. A great way to support your local youth angling group, and I've got to fish with some of these guys. I've been to their meetings, and really good group, a very active group, good kids. They are the future of bass fishing, so if you guys are looking to support a local youth organization, make sure you check this out. You can get your tickets online, and like I say, I have all the information up there that you can check it out and figure out how you can get in there and get yourself a chance to win a really nice swim bait, along with help promoting some of the local youth groups. Okay, let's get into the report, and it's a good one this week. I don't think anybody's going to be dissatisfied with what's gone on here in the last week. Water conditions are, let's just call it 3 to 6 feet throughout the Delta visibility. Everything's looking good. Temperatures in the morning have been right around 73, 74 degrees. By evening, that temperature, water temperature, has risen up to about 80 degrees. We're supposed to get a heat spell coming in this week, so I would suggest if you're coming out this weekend, temperatures may be 74, 75 in the morning, maybe popping a little over 80 this afternoon. We're definitely, or in the evenings, we're definitely in summertime conditions. Everything is really pretty stable, and the fishing has been very good. Even the stripers, people are still catching stripers. This should be, one of the dead times of the year, but there are still fish in the system. Now, if you are looking for stripers, I would suggest staying closer to the main channel, especially out farther. I'd say from Edo's down if you're in the San Joaquin. The Sacramento is still producing quite a few stripers. The big slug is in the bay, but they're still catching stripers. I talked to Alan Fong. Alan's been under the weather. He has not gotten out, but he's talking to a lot of his angling buddies, and the guys that are targeting striper, especially down towards Sacramento, out in the Liberty area, there's still stripers out there, and they're still catching fish. So bottom line is, if that's your thing, man, head out there and you can still have a great time. I have noticed in the Central Delta, from White's, Disappointment, the channel up and down, closer to downtown Stockton, there has been a lack of sea lions, so that's probably telling you that the big slug of fish is moving out that way, but they're still out there, and they're still providing a lot of fun for a lot of the guys that are out there that are targeting stripers. Now, I know most of you guys are looking for the largemouth bass, and it has been a very steady week. I want to thank everyone that sent me the reports, and I want to, once again, I'm going to keep talking about having you guys send me reports, and send them to scooper9561032@gmail.com. I really appreciate them. I read them all, and it's really helping me to formulate what's going on out here and getting the word out to you guys that are going to be out on the weekends, or you might have one day to fish, taking a day off work, giving you guys a report that is more geared towards the average guy. All right, with that being said, there was a tournament this week. I think it was out of Russo's, BBT. It was Father's Day weekend, so not a lot of boats. I think they had 51 boats, and the results were not super impressive. 20-pound bag won, I think 14 cashed a check, and right around mid-level, right around 25, I think the guys were getting about 11 pounds. So everyone was catching fish. Not great, but you have to look at, they're fishing a weekend. There was not a great tide to be fishing this weekend. If the tides were different, I suspect that those numbers and the weights would have gone up. But not bad, but not great for the tournament. What I have noticed is that everyone that I've been getting reports from has been thumbs up, and not a whole, I have not gotten one bad report saying, hey, I went out and it was just tough. I don't know what I did, but I missed the fish. And usually I get some reports like this. This week, everybody's been getting fish. Now, let's start off with the morning bite and the evening bite. And I will say, I've got the picture of the week coming up here. I was out Tuesday, and I met Gary and his son Dominic. They were out putting in their work. I think I met them at the ramp. It was either dark or right at the change of light. It was before 5 a.m. They got up early. They got out here. I got a picture of Dominic. He came out and caught a huge bass on a topwater. I want to congratulate Dominic. Way to go. Just remember, it pays off to get up a little bit early, and that's what I want to talk about. It's going to get hot this weekend. There's going to be midday. It's going to be in close to triple digits. If you're out here, make sure you hydrate. Be careful. There's going to be a lot of recreational type people. Guys are going to start water skiing. There's going to be jet skis and wakeboarders and everyone out here. So be careful. You can still catch fish out here midday, especially if you're fishing the tides. But morning and evening has been fantastic, and I have really been concentrating on those times. The bite windows have been about 45 minutes, and here's the nice thing about what's been going on this week and why I think it's going to get better, at least that morning and evening bite. The tides have not coincided with what's going, the change of light. So we've had really kind of dead low tides in the morning and in the evening. As things start moving around and we get some water movement and some higher tides, I think that bite window might even get better, and the fishing will be better for that morning bite and the evening bite. I've been throwing pretty much nothing but poppers and frogs, and I've never had to change baits to catch not only good numbers of fish, not huge fish, but I'm getting a lot of solid fish in that 3 to 4 pound range, and I'm starting to get some big fish that come up and swirl on baits. And this happens every year. It happened last year. It's happened for the last 10 years. Those big fish that are swirling underneath your baits, they are the big females that are recovering from spawn, and it takes them a little while to really get tuned into feeding and start feeling like they want to start coming up and killing stuff. Mark my words, in the next week or so, we're going to start getting reports from a lot of the bigger fish, the 7, 8s, 9s, and double-digit fish that are coming up and taking topwater baits. It's going to happen, and it's going to happen quick. So now's a good time to be out here on the Delta, especially morning and evening. But remember, be out here at 4:30 when it's dark and get that good 45-minute an hour bite window at the change of light. And if you're staying till evening, make sure you are staying right up until dark, because a lot of times that bite window is compressed right into that last half an hour or 45 minutes. Now, if you're staying out throughout the day, it's going to get hot, but the fishing has been steady. During the heat of the day, fish the tides. Punching is still working. It's going to work through summer, and that's probably, I'm going to start leaning more and more on the punch bite and the frog bite. Chatterbaits are still producing if you want to throw moving baits. A lot of fish coming in on chatterbaits. And if you're looking for numbers, just standard drop shot worms, wacky worms. I got quite a few reports on wacky worms, just a 5 or a 6 inch, either black with blue flake or green pumpkin, something maybe with black and green. Anything that looks like a color of a crayfish or a sunfish, you should do okay on, and you're going to get probably a lot more bites, a lot more bucks on the smaller, drop shot type stuff, but you're going to have a lot more action. So if you're taking your family out, maybe you want to lean that way. If you're looking for a big fish, go with the punch bite or frogs. You may not get as much action, but they're going to be bigger fish. So that's about it, guys. I mean, there's been really no one standout bait that anybody says, they're all taking this, they're all taking that. Even with topwaters, some guys are catching them on buzz baits. Whopper ploppers have come up, poppers a whole lot, walking baits. It's just a good time to fish the Delta. Get out here early, stay late, and have a good time. Anything else that I got? Oh, you will start to see a lot of folk or a lot of areas out here that I don't know, I have nothing behind me, but you'll see the floating hyacinth, a lot of brown hyacinth. They have been spraying a whole lot, and some of the areas like right around Paradise Point, they have been spraying the pellets out there. I think they sprayed Paradise Point about 3 or 4 weeks ago, and boy, it's about almost devoid of any subsurface vegetation. All the elodea that we generally see, that's the hydrilla type stuff that's under the water, boy, it's gone. So they have been spraying a whole lot. They're being aggressive, so make sure to keep that in mind. One thing that I learned from the guys that were out here a week or so ago, I talked to the guys that were spraying, and you know, we've had a fairly windy spring. They cannot spray if the wind is predicted for over 10 miles an hour. So whatever they've sprayed in the last month, because we've had so much wind and they've been off the water, I would suspect that now that they're on the water and there's no wind, there's going to be a lot more spraying. So just be aware that they're out here. Keep an eye on the vegetation. You might want to stay away from the brown stuff and try to find the green stuff and fish that. What else can I say? Oh, couple things I'm going to have coming up. I know I've had quite a few interviews in the last month or so, but there's going to be some action footage coming up. Tomorrow I'll put out a quick trailer to show you what's coming up. On next Tuesday I'm going to upload my video from my Canadian trip. I'm going to be doing a video on how to catch a 39-pound limit here on the Delta. You're not going to want to miss that one. And I'm also going to talk about I don't have the rod on the deck, one of my favorite rods now that I'm talking about topwater fishing. My favorite topwater rod that I use here on the Delta, and I want to make sure that I get that information for you guys out here that may be looking for a nice rod to throw poppers and small walking baits and things like that. I'll give a rod review here coming up, and I'm going to get out and start doing a lot more evening fishing. I'm trying to work on getting a little better when it comes to filming in low light periods, and hopefully I'm going to get some good action videos coming up for the low light bite. And I'm going to do a video on fishing the change of light and some of the things that I look for and some of the trends that I see out here. So those will all be coming up. Thank you guys for watching. Make sure you send me your reports. If you haven't subscribed, make sure you subscribe, hit the like button, and we'll see you guys out on the water.